Now, before we toss it over to Tanner in sports, last week the Daily Iowan met with UI Athletic Director Gary Barta to talk about a few upcoming initiatives, and we have DITV's Lucy Rohden in the newsroom with more. Lucy, good morning.
Hi, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
So, Lucy, now the University of Iowa's non-revenue teams have a grant success since changes have been made in the areas where it was most needed. Lucy, what did Barta say about the upcoming changes?
Barta really said that when to change a non-revenue sport, it's a long-term process. For example, let's look at the rowing program. 8 years ago, Barta decided to build the new boathouse for the rowing program, and it was a long uphill battle from there, but now rowing is ranked in the top 15 nationally. So when there's a program that Barta's a little concerned about their success level and how they're competing on the field, they do a full review of the program and look at the facilities, the budget, and the coaching staff, and then decide where changes need to be made.
Soccer's won 3 in a row, and field hockey's ranked 7th in the country, and football's 5-1. So it's intentional, and there are sports where we're not there yet. And so with those sports, we sit down and we do a full review of each sport, and we look at their facilities, we look at their budgets, we look at their coaching, we look at all the things that matter to make that program better.
But as we heard there, Barta really is impressed with where these facilities have gone. But a big part of this budget that goes into these athletic facilities also go into the university's general fund, as about $4 million will make its way to the university's general fund, which goes to reducing alcohol related incidents by improving non-alcohol programs, going to cultural houses on campus, improving hiring of minority staff, and sorry about that, and going to campus recreational centers, since there's such a close connection between the students and the CRWC.
Seems to make the most sense to me is we have a great partnership with recreational services for all student athletes. You know, we share some space in the Wellness Rec building where we have the pool. We share some space out at HTRC with the tennis courts, and so we're making some contributions to the general fund back for general student, not just student athlete, but student wellness and recreation.
And Lucy, before you go, Barta has been around for a long time. Do you think he has a timetable for the rest of his career, or has anyone in mind after he takes over?
Barta said he's going to be sticking in Iowa City for a while, hopefully. He did have some health issues last year with a scary cancer diagnosis, but he's back at full health now, and he said that even though he wants to stay in Iowa City for a while, he always has it in the back of his mind, and he calls it his bench strength. So he keeps in mind with senior leadership positions 2 or 3 people within the organization that could fill that role for him. So for example, when he did get sick last year, Barbara Burke came in and filled that role for him. So we should see Barta in Iowa City for quite a while, but he has options in mind.
But if something were to happen to me, I had some health issues last year, and Barbara Burke, our deputy athletic director, stepped in, and she did a marvelous job. She's been an athletic director before. I hired her in that position partly because of that she has the experience of being a department leader. So you're constantly looking to make sure that you have bench strength.
Well, Barta is back in full health and should be in Iowa City for a while. But with more on what's going on in Hawkeye athletics, let's toss it over to Tanner in the sports studio. Tanner, what can you tell us?